Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host MDT and today I'm here with Dennis Brownston. If you don't know Dennis, Dennis is an entrepreneur, founder, CEO, inventor, you name it. He takes photos, he gives photo classes. Welcome Dennis.
Carson, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me on this very important subject of dental photography because there's been some absolutely huge changes.
If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'm posting new videos around mastering dental technology every Friday. So hit the notification bell to get updated on the latest posts. Today we're going to tell you how to simplify dental photography using cell phones so you can do what you can do best, improving patients' lives and achieving your goals. Cosmetic dentistry is a beautiful job. I love it, you love it, otherwise you wouldn't watch this video. But it can also be really frustrating if you don't have the right equipment or if you don't even know how to use it that some guru told you to buy. Are you familiar with these days when your office is full of new patients, new referrals, and you're sending these beautiful cases to your laboratory only to hear back 2 days later that they cannot use these photos for analyzing the shade or for moving forward with a smile design for Mrs. Smith that you promised her that it will change her life. So now she has to come back to the office, take off from work, take away your share time, and if that would only be the smallest issue, no. Now you have to tell Mrs. Smith why she has to come back, why she has to take new photos, and why you were not able to take it in the first place. That can be really embarrassing. If all this sounds familiar to you, leave a comment in the comment section and I want to know about your experience as well. But don't feel bad. You know what? 65% of all the photos today are getting taken with cell phones. But the reality is 90% out of these 65% are useless. They are just useless photos the lab cannot use to move forward with your beautiful cases. We can all agree though that the capability of cell phones to take photos is amazing. So, what is the secret? What do we need to do to use them in dentistry, to use them for intraoral photography? It turns out there are a couple of secrets that you need to know, and Dennis will share them with you today. Before the use of cell phone photography and cell phone photos, if you even remember these days, taking intraoral photos was a really painful and labor-intensive process. You had to buy these fancy cameras, the flash, and the flash sometimes even had more buttons to push than the camera body itself. And not only that, you had to go through the whole process of learning it. It's not like just you get the camera out of the box, you buy a $3,000 setup and you're ready to go. No, there was a big learning curve in it. In cell phones, optimal settings are often hidden and are not visible right away, so you have to search for them. And let's face it, cell phone cameras, they were not invented for intraoral photography, they were invented for selfies. So what can you do to make your $1,000 cell phone your best companion in the office or laboratory? What if I tell you we're going to show you something today that makes your life so easy? What if your phone could automatically load the optimal settings for intraoral photography or for full face smile design photos automatically? And it could take photos with your voice and send them automatically to your laboratory. What if your lab would call you from now on to compliment you on your photos instead of complaining about the bad ones? What if the lab would all of a sudden ask you, how did you take these great photos? I want to learn from you. Many officers, they call me and ask me, what should I do? I don't know any further. Dennis, can you tell us about the evolution of cameras?
So let's step back a little bit and say 2010. And there's two classes of cameras: the digital SLR camera, the large format camera that many of you viewers are very familiar with, which is used in dentistry. But also there are many point and shoot cameras that have been somewhat modified for dentistry. And there's thousands and thousands of them. But what started happening around 2010 is that people started switching away from the point and shoot cameras to what? You guessed it, to the cell phone cameras. By around 2016, 98% of the digital cameras sold around the world are cell phone cameras. Everyone calls their cell phone camera a smart camera, but in certain ways it's a dumb camera. But let me explain. When you look at the cell phone, there are no buttons and knobs, and the menus aren't necessarily that easy to figure out, and there's virtually no literature out there, or leaders as I see it, that are really saying, hey, if you use a cell phone camera, this is exactly what you should be doing.
Dennis, what can we do to solve this issue? I tried so many things. I even tried the Smile Light, which is great. It's a great tool, but it's not perfect. It has to do something with my phone. It has to do something with settings. Please tell me.
Carson, you asked what is the secret, and you're taking pictures and they're not so good, or you say they're not so good, and you even put an external light on your cell phone. And I know you're a great photographer. But let's first go back a little bit. In 2015, the phone cameras started getting better and better, and then Apple made a major breakthrough for their cell phone camera, their iPhone, which is the iPhone 8. So anything with the iPhone 8 or newer, the pictures are really, really good. And the best ones to get are the ones with at least dual cameras. It has less digital zoom, and I'm telling you, the picture quality can be just really great, again, if you know what you're doing. So I'm going to mention 5 things that you can do to set up your camera the best that you can. And number 1 is activate the flash. Take all of your dental pictures with the flash. Number 2, zoom in about 3 times, 3x, so that when you're about 4 to 5 inches away from the subject, that your viewing amount is about 2 inches, but that's the distance you want to be. You don't want a wide angle picture. You want to zoom in to get to about 3x. And then the next thing is lower your exposure. And if you put your finger in the middle of the viewing screen, the exposure comes on, and then you make the picture. Now, when you're all done taking pictures, many of you are emailing that to your dental lab. Choose the original resolution, not the lowest resolution, because when your lab gets it, if it's wide angle without a flash, and then on top of that, if it's low resolution, there's just no information there. Or if you keep the pictures and you crop it, you're going to see it's all blurry.
Dennis, I heard that lighting is really important in photography. So what can you tell me about that? And especially in cell phone photography.
Karsten, you mentioned external lighting, and is that needed? And I tell you, I know that lighting is very, very important in photography, especially with the larger digital format camera. You've got dual lights, ring flashes, etc., etc. The onboard light, the flash of the iPhone, is amazing. It doesn't cause too many highlights on the teeth. The lighting can be adjusted very, very well. So I would just say you do not need any external lighting. And many of you may disagree with me on that. But if you start looking at the pictures themselves, that's what I look at. I'm totally blown away by the onboard lighting. So for people that put lights on their mobile phone cameras, at least the iPhones, I'd say that's great. You have a very, very well lit, bad picture.
Dennis, I know you now for many, many years, and I know you invented some of the greatest shade conversion softwares out there, but you must have figured out with cell phones. I know you did. Can you please tell me what it is?
Well, you're right. I've been working on a solution actually for a number of years. The problem that I had, or we had, is that the cameras weren't good enough. So we feel the solution is not really a hardware problem. It is more of a software problem. It's really a situation of automation. People want things optimized and automated. They want it easy, like autopilot. We have designed an app through Apple. It's an Apple app called ShadeWave Mobile. And basically what it is software. It's all web-based software that optimizes your iPhone camera. It takes control of it. So the user, basically, they just open their account, type the patient name in, select the lab, and everything is automated. All those things that we mentioned and even more, things that the user can't get to, we figured out over the years. So the picture is the right magnification, flash, zoom, exposure, color, everything is automated. And one more thing, and that is many of you using mobile phone cameras are emailing it to different people or your lab or your specialist. And it's just simply not HIPAA compliant to do that. Number two, many of you are using your own cell phone cameras and you have all your patient pictures on there, and that's not cool either. So what we've done with ShadeWave Mobile, we not only control all of those variables, but it's also cloud-based, secure, and HIPAA compliant. So your pictures go directly from the operatory right into the cloud and save there. And you could connect those pictures actually through permission so that anyone can get the pictures as well that you choose. So all of that is totally automated.
If anybody wants to try this app, I left a link in the comment section where you can download it. You can also use the coupon code MDT to get a discount. Dennis, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing all your wisdom and secrets with us. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you guys liked this video. If you want to see more of those, leave a comment in the comment section. Stay tuned.